There is a power that moves within the heart of every person who dares to dream, a force that stirs the soul and calls them to something greater than themselves. It is the unseen hand that guides a person through trials and triumphs, shaping them into something they never thought they could be. Yet in the journey of life, there are moments when silence is more powerful than speech, when keeping a vision within is more powerful than sharing it with the world too soon. The world is full of voices, each one clamoring for attention, each one seeking to impose its own version of what is right, what is worthy, what is possible. If one is not careful, these voices can drown out the still, quiet whisper of destiny, the sacred call that burns in the heart and stirs the spirit. The vision given to a person is not for everyone to understand. Not everyone will see what has been revealed, and not everyone will celebrate what has been placed within the soul. Some will doubt, some will criticize, and some will seek to tear down what they do not understand. The wisdom of silence is a lesson many must learn. There is a time to speak, but there is also a time to keep the vision close, to nurture it in the secret place where it can grow strong before being exposed to the winds of opposition. When a seed is planted in the ground, it does not immediately break through the soil. It remains hidden, developing roots, drawing strength from the earth, growing in secret until it is strong enough to rise above the surface. So too must the vision be nurtured in the unseen places before it can stand against the storms that will surely come. The greatest trials often come not from enemies but from those closest. The ones who know a person best can sometimes be the very ones who doubt the most. They remember the past, the failures, the shortcomings, and they struggle to believe that something extraordinary could come from someone so familiar. It is not always malice that drives this doubt. Sometimes it is simply the nature of human limitation. People struggle to believe in what they cannot see, and a vision by its very nature is something that exists beyond sight. Patience is the companion of vision. The greatest accomplishments in history were not achieved overnight. They were carried in the hearts of those who refused to let go, those who walked through seasons of doubt and darkness without surrendering to the voices of disbelief. Every great leader, every innovator, every person who has changed the course of history has known the weight of carrying a vision in silence, waiting for the appointed time to reveal it. The path to fulfillment is not without challenges. There will be obstacles, there will be trials, there will be moments when the vision seems impossible. But it is in these moments that faith is forged. Faith is not the absence of doubt, nor is it the avoidance of difficulty. Faith is the determination to keep moving forward, even when the road is unclear, even when the burden is heavy, even when the world does not yet see what has been placed in the heart. The wisdom of waiting cannot be underestimated. There is a time for preparation, a time for learning, a time for growth. It is in this season of waiting that strength is built, that character is refined, that the foundation is laid for what is to come. The danger of revealing a vision too soon is that it may be met with opposition before it has the strength to stand. Many dreams have been destroyed, not because they were impossible, but because they were exposed before they were ready. There is power in moving in silence. The greatest battles are often fought in the quiet places, where no one sees, where no one applauds, where no one understands. It is in these moments that the deepest convictions are formed, the strongest faith is built, the truest purpose is revealed. Those who endure these seasons without losing heart are the ones who will see their vision come to light. The road will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. There will be times of loneliness, times of uncertainty, times of doubt. But these moments are not meant to break, they are meant to build. Every challenge, every hardship, every struggle is a tool, shaping, refining, preparing for the day when the vision will be revealed in its fullness. The world is filled with those who speak much and say little. It is easy to announce plans, to declare intentions, to share dreams with the hope that others will understand. But true strength is found in the one who moves with quiet determination, who allows actions to speak louder than words, who lets the vision be proven by its fulfillment rather than its announcement. There is a time to stand, a time to speak, a time to declare what has been placed within, but until that time comes, there is wisdom in silence. There is power in holding on to the vision, in nurturing it, in protecting it from the voices that would seek to diminish it. The world will not always understand, but that does not matter. What matters is the faith to keep going, the patience to wait for the right moment, the strength to endure until the appointed time arrives. The vision is not for everyone to understand, and that is okay. It was not given to them, it was given to the one who carries it. And for that person, the greatest responsibility is not to convince the world, but to remain faithful until the day the vision becomes reality. A vision is not just a fleeting thought or a passing dream. It is something far more profound and sacred. It is a divine imprint placed upon your heart, a glimpse into the purpose and plan that God has for your life. When you receive a vision, it carries with it a weight of significance, a sense of destiny that can stir your soul and ignite your passions. But with this sacred gift comes a great responsibility, the responsibility to protect it, to nurture it, and to allow it to grow in the hidden places of your heart before it is ready to be revealed to the world. Just as a seed must be buried in the soil, shielded from the elements and given time to germinate before it can break through the surface and grow into a mighty tree, so too must your vision be guarded and cultivated in the quiet, unseen places of your life. This is not always easy. The excitement of receiving a vision can make you eager to share it with others, to seek their validation or encouragement. But resist this urge. A vision is not meant to be broadcast prematurely. It is meant to be cherished, to be pondered, to be prayed over. It is meant to be held close like a precious treasure until the time is right for it to be brought into the light. When you share your vision too soon, you risk exposing it to forces that could hinder its growth. Not everyone will understand the depth of what you have been given. Some may dismiss it as mere fantasy or ambition. Others may try to impose their own expectations or interpretations upon it. And there are those who, intentionally or unintentionally, may seek to discourage you or even derail you from the path you are called to walk. This is why it is so important to guard your vision carefully, to allow it to take root and grow strong before exposing it to the opinions and criticisms of others. Remember, a vision is not just about what you are becoming. It is a reflection of God's work in your life, a testament to His faithfulness and His plans for you. By protecting your vision, you are not only honoring the gift you have been given, but you are also positioning yourself to walk in the fullness of what God has prepared for you. When you receive a vision, it is natural to want to share it with others. After all, a vision is often accompanied by a sense of excitement, a surge of passion, and a desire to see it come to life. But here is the truth. Not everyone will understand or support your vision. In fact, some may respond with skepticism, doubt, or even outright opposition. This is not necessarily because they wish you harm, but because they may not see what you see or feel what you feel. They may be limited by their own perspectives, experiences, or fears. And there are those who, for reasons of their own, may feel threatened by your vision or envious of the calling you have received. When you share your vision prematurely, you open yourself up to these reactions, and they can have a profound impact on your confidence and resolve. Doubt can creep in, discouragement can take hold, and the clarity of your vision can become clouded by the voices of others. This is why it is so important to be discerning about who you share your vision with and when you share it. Not everyone is equipped to handle the weight of what you have been given. Not everyone has the faith, the wisdom, or the maturity to speak into your life in a way that aligns with God's purposes. There will be times when you need to keep your vision to yourself to protect it from the well-meaning but misguided advice of others and to allow it to grow in the safety of God's presence. This does not mean you should isolate yourself or refuse to seek counsel altogether. On the contrary, there will come a time when it is appropriate and necessary to share your vision with others. But that time is not at the beginning. It is after you have spent time in prayer, after you have sought wisdom and guidance, and after you have taken the first steps of obedience. When the time is right, God will bring the right people into your life. People who will support you, encourage you, and help you fulfill the vision He has given you. Until then, be patient, be wise. And remember that your vision is not dependent on the approval or validation of others. It is dependent on your faithfulness to the one who gave it to you. The story of Joseph in the Old Testament is a powerful reminder of the dangers of sharing a vision prematurely. As a young man, Joseph received a vision from God, a vision that he would one day rise to a position of great authority and that even his own family would bow before him. But Joseph made the mistake of sharing this vision too soon. He told his brothers, and their response was not one of joy or encouragement. Instead, they were filled with jealousy and resentment. They mocked him, betrayed him, and sold him into slavery. Joseph's vision was true, but the timing of his revelation was not. He had to endure years of hardship, betrayal, and imprisonment before his vision finally came to pass. This story teaches us an important lesson. Just because a vision is from God does not mean it is meant to be shared immediately. There is a process that must take place, a process of preparation, refinement, and testing. During this time, you must learn to rely not on the approval or validation of others, but on the quiet assurance that comes from knowing you are walking in obedience to the one who gave you the vision in the first place. Joseph's journey was not easy, but it was necessary. It was through the trials and tribulations he faced that he was shaped and molded into the man God needed him to be. It was through the pain and suffering he endured that he developed the character, the wisdom, and the resilience required to fulfill the vision he had been given. And when the time was right, God brought Joseph's vision to pass in a way that far exceeded his expectations. This is the same God who is at work in your life today. He knows the plans he has for you, and he is faithful to bring them to pass. But he also knows the process you need to go through in order to be ready for the fulfillment of those plans. Trust him, trust his timing, and remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. When you receive a vision from God, it is not just a personal matter, it is a spiritual one. The enemy of your soul does not want to see God's purposes fulfilled in your life. He will do everything in his power to distract you, discourage you, and divert you from the path you are called to walk. This is why it is so important to guard your vision carefully. When you share your vision prematurely, you open it up to spiritual opposition. The enemy can use the doubts, fears, and criticisms of others to sow seeds of confusion and discouragement in your heart. He can use the pressures and expectations of the world to pull you away from the path God has set before you. This is why it is crucial to keep your vision hidden, to protect it from unnecessary attacks, and to allow it to develop in the safety of God's presence. This does not mean you should live in fear or isolation. On the contrary, it means you should live in faith and dependence on God. It means you should seek his guidance and protection as you walk the path he has set before you. It means you should surround yourself with people who will pray for you, encourage you, and speak truth into your life. And it means you should be vigilant, always on guard against the schemes of the enemy. Remember, the battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the spiritual forces of evil. By keeping your vision hidden and trusting in God's timing, you are positioning yourself to walk in victory and to see the fulfillment of all that he has promised. While you are waiting for the right time to reveal your vision, it is important to focus on the work that is before you. Be faithful in the small things. Cultivate the character and skills you will need to carry out the vision when the time comes. Remember, God is more interested in who you are becoming than in what you are doing. He is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for the task. This process of preparation is not always easy. It requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace the lessons that come through trials and challenges. But it is through this process that you will develop the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience you need to fulfill the vision God has given you. Think of it like a tree. Before a tree can bear fruit, it must first develop strong roots. These roots anchor the tree, provide it with nourishment, and enable it to withstand the storms that come its way. In the same way, the work you do now, the prayers you pray, the lessons you learn, the character you build, will serve as the foundation for the vision God has placed in your heart. So do not despise the small beginnings. Do not grow impatient or discouraged. Instead, embrace the process. Be faithful in the little things and trust that God is using them to prepare you for something far greater. God's timing is perfect. He knows the plans he has for you, and he is faithful to bring them to pass. But his timing is not always our timing. We live in a world that values speed, efficiency, and instant results. We want things to happen quickly, and we can become frustrated when they do not. But God's ways are not our ways. He sees the bigger picture. He knows the end from the beginning, and He knows exactly what needs to happen in your life before the vision He has given you can come to pass. This is why it is so important to trust Him. Trust His timing, trust His process, trust that He is working all things together for your good. When you try to rush ahead of God's timing, you risk missing out on the lessons, the growth, and the preparation that are necessary for the fulfillment of your vision. But when you wait on Him, when you trust in His timing, you position yourself to walk in the fullness of His plans for your life. Remember, God is not just concerned with the destination, He is also concerned with the journey. He wants to use the process to shape you, to refine you, and to draw you closer to Him. So be patient, be still, and know that He is God. He will bring the vision to pass in His perfect timing. There will come a time when it is appropriate to share your vision with others. But that time is not at the beginning. It is after you have spent time in prayer, after you have sought wisdom and guidance, and after you have taken the first steps of obedience. When the time is right, God will bring the right people into your life, people who will support you, encourage you, and help you fulfill the vision He has given you. These people may not be the ones you expect. They may not be the ones you would have chosen. But they will be the ones God has appointed to walk alongside you on this journey. When you share your vision with them, it will be with a sense of confidence and clarity, knowing that you have been faithful to the process and that God has prepared the way. This does not mean that everything will be easy from this point forward. There will still be challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But you will be walking in the assurance that you are not alone, that you are in the center of God's will, and that He is with you every step of the way. So be patient, be faithful, and trust that God will bring the vision to pass in His perfect timing. Let us remember that a vision is a sacred gift, a divine blueprint for our lives that must be handled with care and reverence. It is not something to be shared lightly or prematurely, but rather something to be nurtured in the quiet, hidden places of our hearts. Not everyone will understand or support your vision, and that is okay. Your calling is not dependent on the approval of others, but on your faithfulness to the one who gave it to you. Learn from the story of Joseph, who faced years of hardship and betrayal because he shared his vision too soon. Understand that spiritual opposition is real, and guard your vision against the doubts, fears, and distractions that the enemy may try to bring your way. Focus on the work before you, being faithful in the small things, and trust that God is using this time to prepare you for what lies ahead. His timing is perfect even when it doesn't align with our own. And when the time is right, He will bring the right people, resources, and opportunities into your life to help you fulfill the vision He has placed within you. Until then, walk in obedience, remain steadfast in prayer, and trust that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Your vision is not just about what you will do. It is about who you are becoming. So guard it, cherish it, and allow it to grow in the safety of God's presence. And when the time comes to step into the fullness of your calling, you will do so with confidence, knowing that the God who gave you the vision is the same God who will bring it to pass.